The last aisle. A horror story. Chapter 1. The late night run. You know that feeling when you walk into a grocery store late at night, and something just feels off. Not wrong enough to leave. Just wrong enough to make the hair on the back of your neck stand up. That's exactly where Marcus was at 11:47 p.m. on a Tuesday. He needed eggs. That was it. One thing. His wife had texted him twice, his daughter's birthday cake wasn't going to bake itself, and the only place still open was Freshmart, that giant supermarket off the highway that never seemed to close. The one with the flickering light above the entrance that the management had apparently decided wasn't worth fixing. He pulled into the parking lot and noticed something strange right away. His was the only car there. Not unusual for midnight, he told himself. He grabbed a basket from the stack near the door and walked in. The doors slid open with a sound that felt too loud. Chapter 2. Aisle by aisle. The store was immaculate. That's the first thing that hit him. It was too clean. Like a showroom. Like nobody had actually shopped here in days, and someone had just come in and arranged everything perfectly for the sake of it. The overhead lights hummed. That low, constant hum you stopped noticing after a while. Except Marcus couldn't stop noticing it. He walked to aisle 4 dairy. Grabbed his eggs. Done. Easy. He turned to head to the checkout, and that's when he saw her. An old woman. Standing completely still in the middle of aisle 6. Just standing there. Facing the shelves. Not reaching for anything. Not moving. Marcus figured she was reading a label. Maybe her eyesight wasn't great. He gave her a polite nod as he passed. She didn't react. Didn't turn. Didn't blink. He kept walking. At the end of the aisle, for reasons he still can't explain, he looked back. She was facing him now. He hadn't heard her move. Hadn't heard a single footstep. But she had turned completely around, and she was staring straight at him from 40 feet away, her face completely expressionless. Marcus turned back around and walked faster. Chapter 3. The employee. He found a cashier at checkout lane 2. Young guy, maybe 20, wearing the standard red Freshmart vest. Name tag said Daniel. Find everything okay? Daniel asked, already scanning the eggs. Yeah, just these, Marcus said, pulling out his card. Then, because he couldn't help it, hey, is it always this quiet? Daniel looked up slowly. This time of night? Yeah, he said. Just the regulars. Marcus frowned. The regulars? At midnight. Daniel smiled, but it didn't quite reach his eyes. Some people just love to shop late. Marcus glanced back into the store. The old woman was gone. He couldn't see her anywhere in the long empty aisle stretching out behind him. That lady in aisle 6, he said. She a regular? Daniel stopped scanning. Just for a half second, just long enough to notice. Then he kept going. What lady? He said. Marcus took his bag, his receipt, and walked toward the exit faster than he meant to. Chapter 4. The thing in aisle 9. He was almost at the doors when the intercom crackled. Attention Freshmart shoppers. Aisle 9 is now open. That was it. That was the whole announcement. Something about it stopped him cold. He didn't know why. It was a normal enough sentence. Except the store was empty, and it was almost midnight, and why would they be opening a new aisle now? He told himself not to. He really did. He looked anyway. Aisle 9 was the last aisle on the far left, the one he hadn't gone down. From where he stood, he could see the entrance to it. The lights in that aisle were off. Not flickering. Not dim. Just off. A rectangular mouth of pure darkness at the far end of the store. And from somewhere inside that darkness he heard it. A sound like a shopping cart. Wheels on linoleum. Slow. Rolling toward him. He couldn't see anything. Just blackness. But the sound kept coming closer, and unhurried. Like whatever was pushing it had all the time in the world. Marcus didn't wait to see what came out. He hit the doors, stepped into the parking lot, and breathed in cold night air like it was the first breath he'd taken in 10 minutes. Chapter 5. The Receipt. He sat in his car for a full minute before he could bring himself to start the engine. He was being ridiculous. He knew that. It was a late-night grocery run, not a horror movie. Old ladies stand in grocery aisles. Intercom announcements happen. Aisles have dark lighting sometimes. He started the car, and then he looked down at the receipt in the passenger seat. Standard Freshmart header. Date. Time. 1 item, 1 dozen eggs. Tax. Total, and then, at the very bottom, where the little survey invitation usually is, where it normally says, "Tell us how we did." There was something else. In the same printed font as everything else on the receipt, it said, "She was standing behind you the whole time." Marcus looked up at the rearview mirror. The back seat was empty. He exhaled. Then the woman from aisle 6 rose slowly into frame from the floor, where she had been crouching, silent, the entire time, and she smiled. Outro. Marcus doesn't shop at Freshmart anymore. He drives 20 minutes out of his way to go to a different store, in the daylight, with other people around. He threw the receipt away. But he printed that last line onto a piece of paper and keeps it folded in his wallet, not because he wants to remember it, because he's afraid if he forgets what it felt like he might go back, and aisle 9 might finally be open just for him. If you're watching this in the dark, maybe check your back seat. Just to be safe.